Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to discuss the brand DRMTLGY, but we're not going to discuss the cult classic needleless serum or the microdermabrasion scrub or the universal tinted moisturizer. Today we're actually going to discuss 7 products that I think are completely underrated from the brand. I actually reached out to them and negotiated a special discount for this video, so be sure to check the description box. This video is not sponsored. I just really was looking through and thinking about how much hype so many of these products get for good reason. And yet there are so many products on their website that are so underloved but are incredible. So we're going to talk about those today. If you are new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician, and I have to say I have a special place in my heart for this brand. They have been just a favorite, beloved brand of mine personally, so I have shared that with you quite a bit. And I just love to give good people, good brands, more love. They do great products. They're great people. The price point is wonderful. A discount is offered to you. It is a wonderful, wonderful win-win-win-win-win. I do hope that you will consider subscribing before you go. On this channel, I do all kinds of product reviews, ingredient breakdowns. We talk about skincare devices and just really a lot of skincare education and fun here. So definitely hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so that you're notified anytime I drop a new video, and let's get into this one. Okay, we're gonna start with what I think could be the most underrated product that DRMTLGY sells, and it is their Hyper Fader. Now, this is a kojic acid based product. If you're not familiar with kojic acid, it comes from fungi and it is a tyrosinase inhibitor. What that means is it's a pigment inhibitor. We've talked about this so much on my channel because I have hyperpigmentation. It is ongoing. I have to constantly be working on my hyperpigmentation from sun damage from when I was much younger. Now, of course, with proper use of sunscreen, that can get better, but what you really need is a pigment inhibitor. You need to have a pigment inhibitor on board at night and in the morning. And if you haven't seen it yet, I do have a video that is dedicated to hyperpigmentation and how to get rid of brown spots. I will definitely link that in the description box. This is one of the main elements in that plan, is to have a pigment inhibitor on board. So the deal is, as our cells march to the surface for us to be able to see them, they can come to the surface either perfectly pigmented or have too much pigment in them. If they have too much pigment in them or too many cells come to the surface with excess pigment, we get irregular skin tone and we get brown spots, age spots, etc. So the key to this is we're always having new cells march to the surface. It's the constant skin cycle that we go through as long as we are alive, is to make sure that the cells that are marching to the surface come to the surface with the right amount of pigment so that we have even tone pigment. Now, what we need for that is a pigment inhibitor on board at night and also in the morning, so that constantly that kind of doorway is being regulated so only cells that have just the right amount of pigment get to come through. Kojic acid is one of those ingredients that is a pigment inhibitor that's going to help with that process. Now, this doesn't just have kojic acid in it. This has ceramides in it. It has cholesterol in it. It has all kinds of ingredients in it that are going to help with irritation and inflammation. And the reason why that is important when you're talking about hyperpigmentation is because irritation can actually spur on hyperpigmentation. It's another element in the whole formula for hyperpigmentation. So as long as we can keep the irritation down, not only are we just going to be happier, our skin's going to look nicer, our barrier is going to be better intact, but we're going to have less pigment as well. So this combats pigment in a multitude of ways. It's also super hydrating and it gets fantastic reviews on the DRMTLGY website, which I highly recommend that you go check out their reviews. I mean, there are tons and tons and tons of reviews and people are singing the praises. I just haven't heard it talked about much on YouTube. Okay, the next one is going to be one that I actually don't personally use, but looks to be, and judging from the reviews, an amazing product that deserves a lot more attention. And it is their 24-hour acne Acne Serum. Now, I'm actually going to be giving this one away to a friend who could really use it, but this is a combination of 5% benzoyl peroxide, which is kind of like a drying ingredient, which typically you hear about that a lot when people talk about teenage acne or acne that's related to oil production. This also has 5% glycolic acid in it. Now, glycolic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid, and it can help with cellular turnover. It can help brighten your skin. It's fantastic for spurring on collagen production. It's a really, really great ingredient, and it also can help with clearing unwanted pigment a la PIH, so the dark marks that are left behind after the acne is gone. This is a fantastic combination. Now, the way that they have combined them together, they have buffered it with all kinds of soothing ingredients so that there's low irritation, because both of those ingredients on their own, typically, if you layered a benzoyl peroxide and a glycolic acid at the same time, you might get a lot of irritation. The way that they have formulated this product is so that there is really low irritation with really great results. So I find this to be a very, very intriguing product. If you have tried this, definitely comment down below. The reviews that are on the Dermatology website, multiple reviews talk about how this is not drying to the skin. That's the number one kind of downfall of benzoyl peroxide, is that it can be very, very drying, and people talk over and over and over about how this did not dry out their skin. There are reviews from people who are over 40 that say it cleared their skin, but it did not dry them out. So to me, this is definitely an underrated product. If you are acne prone or if you have acne breakouts, this might be something for you to look into. Next is going to be the Soothe and Recovery Cream. This one is completely underrated in my opinion. Now, it's a moisturizer, and a lot of times when you hear Soothe and Recovery, you think of something like, or at least I do, I think of like Cicaplast. I think of some of those products that are really like kind of form a real occlusive barrier. They're kind of greasy, and while they do a really good job of, repairing the barrier and helping with kind of getting everything back to where it should be after irritation or maybe sunburn or ultra dryness, things like that, the way that they feel is usually kind of heavy and thick and greasy. That's a lot of times. And we will go with that because they do such a good job. This is kind of the opposite. It has all kinds of ingredients in it that are going to help to repair a damaged barrier, but it's very lightweight, at least lightweight in that kind of a product. Like, there are no products that I have come across that do this big of a job of repairing dry skin, helping with barrier impairment, helping with irritation and inflammation in the skin without being heavy. You could actually get away with using this daily as a daily moisturizer if you have normal to dry skin, or if you have irritation and you can tell that you've compromised your barrier. Maybe you've overused the alpha hydroxy acids, or you are recovering from a peel, or you've just gone in too hard with your retinoids. This is the kind of product that you actually could wear during the day and still put on your makeup and still do all these other things. And it's going to do what some of those other products like the Cicaplasts, etc., do without all that ointment, without all of that heavy, greasy feeling. It is just a beautiful kind of lotion cream that starts out a little bit thick, just a little bit. You can see it's not like running down my arm or anything, but it turns into this beautiful, creamy lotion and just disappears and leaves your skin so supple. It's a fantastic recovery product. Now, the ingredient deck contains everything that you're going to need for your barrier. It has cholesterol, it has ceramides, it has glycerin in there. It just has all of these things that are the right ingredients to bake that cake to make sure that we get the barrier back intact. Simple and effective, and I love it. Totally underrated. Okay, speaking of retinoids, I feel like their Retinol Complex gets way less love than it should. This is retinol, which retinol is a vitamin A derivative that is really, really helpful for fading hyperpigmentation, encouraging collagen production. It is really a wonderful anti-aging ingredient that is just well studied all the way around. And then vitamin C, of course, is an antioxidant that can also help with brightening the skin, pigment inhibiting, and overall antioxidant protection. Really wonderful 1-2 punch as far as pigment is concerned. I will tell you that this is one of those that the 0.5% is a little bit, you might get, you might think that it's not going to be strong enough or something like that. It is still one of those that I say start out every 3 days at night and work your way up if you like to use it more often at night, because it is definitely potent and works like a charm. It is a wonderful, wonderful retinol product. If you have been in the market, if it's time for you to get a new retinoid, this is a really, really great one from the brand. Okay, as far as acids are concerned, this advanced retexturizer is so underloved and it should get a lot more hype. It actually reminds me quite a bit of an Obagi product that I used many years ago, and every once in a while I throw back into the mix, and that is their Exvoderm Forte. This one has glycolic acid, it has polyhydroxy acid. It can help with scarring because it softens the skin. It can help definitely with texture. It can help with pores. It can also help with hyperpigmentation. Now, this is another product that is incredibly potent. So you definitely want to start out very, very slow, 2 days a week, and work your way up if you ever use it more than 3 days a week. I don't personally think that you need to use anything like this more than 3 times a week. It's helpful for that exfoliation, and you don't want to over exfoliate. And so a tub like this, because it's like a lotion almost, a tub like this, it seriously goes so far. It has that typical slightly glycolic acid smell to it. And again, it totally reminds me of that Obagi product. It's just a really fantastic exfoliating product from the brand that I don't hear anybody ever talk about. So if you are into chemical exfoliation, you like glycolic acid, you like polyhydroxy acids, maybe you have some acne scarring, you have some irregular texture, if you have hyperpigmentation, or if you are just looking for general anti-aging, help with fine lines, etc. This is a great product to add into your routine if you don't already have some kind of chemical exfoliation going on. So that is the Advanced Retexturizer. Last 2 products, you guys. This one is new from the brand, and honestly, it's one of those that is kind of funky, but once I used it, I'm like, this is incredible. It is their concentrated foot cream. Listen, I know a foot cream is kind of like, huh, what? This actually has lactic acid in it to exfoliate and help, with like cracks in your feet. And then it has urea, which both of those ingredients can be humectants, so they can hydrate the tissue, but they can also exfoliate depending on the percentage of each of those ingredients. To have them both together in a foot cream means you're going to get really great softening, hydrating, exfoliating of the feet. The other thing that is in here is peppermint. And normally I'm not a huge fan of peppermint in, like certainly in my face cream or anything like that. But in a foot cream, I am telling you, it feels like you went and got a pedicure. You put this on, it cools the feet. It feels so good after a long day on your feet, softens the feet, and then over time makes them look so nice. The heels are softened, all of the callousy areas start to soften. Just really is an amazing, amazing product. And honestly, I don't know that I talk much about things like foot creams, but this one is incredible. If for anything, for the way it makes your feet feel. If you work on your feet, you will love this. It is so, so good. So that is the concentrated foot cream. The last product is their physical tinted moisturizer SPF 44. Now you guys know that I love the universal tinted moisturizer, which is a hybrid sunscreen. That one is it is a zinc, but it also has octinoxate. This one is purely mineral. So it is zinc and it is titanium dioxide and it is tinted. I find that this one is just a little bit less dewy than the universal tinted moisturizer. This one it's not matte, but it's a little bit more skin-like finish, just a satin finish instead of a dewy finish. And the tint is very similar. It is really what it's doing is it's not providing any white. So it's not like it's super dark or anything. It just doesn't leave a white cast, which sometimes you can get that with a mineral sunscreen. So you can see that there's really just no white cast whatsoever. I love it. It's SPF 44. It certainly is another one that could be kind of considered an Elta MD dupe for their physical sunscreens. It's absolutely gorgeous. No scent whatsoever, and it's kind of the underrated sister of the Universal Tinted Moisturizer. But I know that so many of you out there really do appreciate a purely mineral sunscreen, and maybe you didn't realize that your beloved brand Dermatology carries one. So those are the 7 underrated products from Dermatology. Let me know in the comment section if you've tried any of these. Let me know if there are other products from the brand that I should be checking out because you feel that they are also underrated. I do hope you will visit Dermatology and give them some love. I cannot emphasize enough how important I think it is to support brands that are ethical, that are run by good people, that provide really great products and they're just good people. I really do think that throwing our support behind those brands is important. Again, check the description box for that special discount that's going to be going for about a week. And then after that, I always have a code that's good for 20% off anytime you shop Dermatology. So that will be listed in the description box as well if you happen to watch this video after that 1 week. I do hope you are having a really wonderful day, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.